what we're going to talk about today is your employee assistance program, which is the first thing I want to tell everybody because it's a huge misconception. There is no report when you call it. It's not connected with Citizens National Bank at all. It's not connected with Unum at all. It's completely confidential. There's no report that goes anywhere that shows that you used it, that you went to see a counselor, what your issues were, nothing. It is completely confidential. There's not even a report that's sent to Citizens National Bank that says how many people are using it. So it is 100% confidential. Please use it for any issue that you have. They do it because they want you to get the help that you need or want. So just to let you know that to begin with. Let's see, did I hit the right? There we go. Okay, Unum covers your disability insurance, and this is part of the disability package that you have. And we switched carriers. We were with Ceridian, which was a phenomenal carrier for your EAP. Now we're over to a company called Health Advocate, and they're one of the largest in the country. I think they have something like 60,000 providers throughout. I think they have like 60% of the Fortune 500 companies that use them. So, I mean, it's a big company. They've got a lot of resources. There's a lot of availability and just the name brand recognition with the Health Advocate program. So what is Employee Assistance Program? We refer to it as EAP. In benefits world, sometimes we talk a lot in acronyms. It's like a whole other language, but EAP is Employee Assistance Program. It is there to help you with basically from anything from trying to find a child care program, or you're moving and you need an apartment or a moving service, all the way up to you need to see a counselor, you need legal help for any kind of relationship issues, any kind of issues that you would need available, you have that option. You do get, and again, it handles everything from how you're having issues with a coworker, or you're trying to figure out ways to develop your career or get education, to you're having, issues with your kids. Your children are covered under the EAP program, and also your parents and your in-laws are covered under the program. So you can use it for them. We have a lot who use it for their kids that are going through things. So that's who it's available for. You can get, I'm sorry, I kind of bounce around because I forget what's on which slide. Okay. You do get, for each issue that you have, if you want to see a counselor, you get 3 sessions free of charge per issue per year. So you're not capped at 3 sessions per year, you're capped at 3 sessions per issue. So if you have an issue with a relationship and you go and see a counselor 3 times, that's covered. Of course, you can extend it. It's just, if it's, you'd have to check and see if they're covered under your health insurance or if you pay out of pocket after 3. And then if you have another issue that comes up, you have your 3 sessions start all over. We do have, with this new program, which is awesome, a lot of times you might need to see a special counselor, or you may live in a rural area that doesn't have a counselor near you. You can do it either via the phone or even through like a Skype kind of video conferencing type situation. You can use your 3 sessions that way if there's a specific counselor you're wanting to see that it's not really accessible for you to get to. So you can do that. Let's see. This is basically the 3 sessions that we just talked about. These little cards here, this Turn to Us, kind of talks about the services that are available and who's covered. And then at the bottom, there's the telephone number and the website. This website is phenomenal. Go to it. You can get access. There's all kind of, you could spend hours in there. I mean, you can find everything from, there's lots of legal help, will prep, estate planning, trying to help with, you've got older parents that need care, trying to find what to do as your parents age, how to help with the medical part, all kind of resources on mental wellness. So everything. I think there's even like recipes on there that you can get in. I mean, it's everything from finding a local park and school all the way up to suicide prevention. So there's lots of resources available on the website, and call in the number. I have used it several times from everything, just because like in our office, we talk about this all the time. So it's kind of a running joke. Anytime somebody's dealing with somebody, I mean, think about how much we talk about our personal lives at work. our internal joke is call EAP, and we do it a lot just to see what they'll do. And it truly is amazing what they will tolerate from us as we call and come up with these issues and what they help us with. My friend had a researching termite companies like 2 weeks ago. So they called around the local areas and got like years of experience and cost and all this stuff. So, I mean, it's very helpful if you call and use it. And it's very underutilized. And this is my most favorite part. This came new with our health advocate, so we've only had it since this summer. So essentially what this is everybody is moving to these high deductible health plans. I think y'all still got a really good one where it's like $750. So any medical bill you have, and remember this works for your children and your parents, that's over $400, dental, medical, you can call and they will help negotiate the bill, check the coding, do everything through, because medical bills, I don't know if you've ever tried it. I recently, within the last year, my daughter had her appendix taken out, and there was an ambulance that was out of network, which apparently all ambulances are out of network. I'm from Memphis, but so it was like $3,700. I fought it for about 6 months. Once we got this, they called and negotiated it, had it handled in like, I don't know, I guess it was like a week, and it was $400. So we have been using it, and it is amazing because it started and they told us about it, and we were like, okay, you know. But there's a lot of coding issues apparently in the medical bills that kind of get coded wrong. I'm sure not intentionally. So they have a trained crew that go in, and even if it's something that, you know, hey, it's for a parent who wasn't covered or your child wasn't covered, and they don't have to be on this medical plan. As long as they are your dependent or your parent, it's not tied to the medical plan. It's tied to you as an employee assistant. So they will go through and take your bills. All you have to do is call the number and say you need the service. You get all those medical bills you get nicely in the mail that we don't understand, and you send them to them, and then they kind of summarize it all and give you this nice breakdown of what they've been able to do. So it is extremely, extremely helpful. So some of these examples, I think there was a surgery, this first one, I think they got it negotiated down from $5,000 to like $2,500. I mean, it is impressive, and I mean, there's just no consumerism in the medical industry, so I think that this company is trying to kind of bring that back, but they do a lot, and it's super awesome, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So anything over $400 that you get them all together, call the number, and they'll take care of it for you. Obviously, it's not going to be free, but I think that they're going to do everything they can to get the cost down for you. So I think that's it on the EAP, yeah. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about the Employee Assistance Program? Okay, good. I would.
I can ask you one
Sure.
thing. You said something about a will,
Uh-huh.
and even for your parents, you can
Mhm.
you can do that.
Mhm.
What do you do? Do they suggest lawyers or something to use? Or
Essentially, when you go online to the website, there's a whole will prep area, and obviously the service that's provided at no charge is a very basic will. You know, you got property. If you get into like just massive, you know, complex estate, it's not going to cover that. But they do have legal representatives you can talk to, and then there is just standard forms that you can fill out that fall and will hold up. So it's all available. Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely, because most of us don't have wills. Yes, that is true. Yeah, most of us don't even have something, and I was guilty of until about a year ago that said who got my kid. It doesn't happen to me. So in the state of Tennessee, that's a big deal. So I'm not sure the Mississippi laws, but
You have to have it listed, even though you want it to go to the family or whatever, if it's not stated, that can become a ward of the state.
yeah.
So
So
even in your will, if you have one person listed, it's always better to have 2 or 3 more that would take the job, because if that person goes, then that kid can still become a ward of the state. It's not a enunciation. That's what I was told when I did mine.
yeah, so they can help answer all those questions and make sure what would happen. There is services available for that. So the next one is travel assistance. Anybody else have questions about EAP? We can always come back to it, but I know I talk fast. It's a lot of information, but okay. So the travel assist, that's this card here. I would suggest putting this number in your phone and just keeping it there. Put it in your kid's phone. This one covers you and your dependents who are 26 and under. So anybody who would be eligible to be on a medical plan, again, it's not tied to your medical plan. This one does not cover parents. So if you're traveling 150 miles from home for personal, not for business, this covers you. What it covers is if you have any kind of medical emergencies, a lot of the materials you'll see if you like, there's an app you can look at and there's stuff online. It talks a lot about overseas just because that's the more extreme cases, but it works. I mean, if you can be, if Memphis is more than 150 miles. So if you're in Memphis, come up to see me, say hi, but it'll cover you. So hospital admission, and one thing too to note on this, and we'll talk about it a couple times just because I like to drive it home, is you have to call them prior to. So not prior to traveling, but if you have a medical emergency, the first people you need to call is this number because they do not reimburse. So let's say, and we'll kind of go through some examples, but if you do everything on your end and you call and say, hey, here's my expenses that I had, they're going to say sorry. You know, if you would have called us beforehand. So as long as they make the arrangements and they handle everything, it's covered. If you make the arrangements and you pay for it out of your pocket, they're not going to cover anything. So, okay. It's kind of an example of some of the things that it covers. If you're overseas and you lose your passport, you can call the number and they're going to help you get to it. You traveling? They so a coworker had her son was over at a ID camp for sports and broke his ankle. And we were kind of joking, as we always do. We're like, don't forget, because everybody always forgets that your travel assistant. She called. They flew her up to get him, rented her a car to drive him back, and paid for it all. Arranged everything, took care of it. So it is impressive. And we have had, unfortunately, we had a Unum employee. This was years ago. I did not know him, but he was in, I think it was Hawaii and cliff jumping, and he passed away. And they helped get his body back to his family. So again, it's not something that we pay. Like if I go and buy that plane ticket and rent that car or move that body by myself, it's not going to reimburse you, but they will arrange, make all the arrangements and make sure everything's paid for you.
And this is only for you and your dependents that are
anybody 26 and below. So anybody who would be covered under the health plan, which is now 26 and below, but it's not tied to your health plan. I said that earlier in it. Yeah, they just had to be an eligible dependent.
Okay.
So, and it has to be not for, so like my husband traveled for work. So if he was traveling for work, you wouldn't cover him because your job would pick up and pay for it at that point. So it's non-related. Let's see. So also like they essentially like this is where it came in where they flew my friend up because he was a minor. If you're, it depends on the severity of your injury. If you're somewhere and you can't get back on your own, they're gonna get you home, whether you're overseas or at a sports camp in the U.S. So they're gonna do what they can to get you taken care of. There is an app that's available. I don't have the app. I don't use the app. It's just easier for me to have the number on my phone. I have so many apps on my phone that I think I would forget about it, but I've got it in there, so I see it and I remember it, and I put it in my kid's phone, so they've got it. It is everywhere. I've had my luggage lost personally, and I figured I was going to get it in the next day or so, but there was some medicine in there I needed. I called. They called my doctor. They called my pharmacy. They called a pharmacy near me, and they got it to my hotel. Wow. So it is very impressive. So, and it does work if you call it. It does not work if you don't call it. So it's one of those things. People just don't use it. I think it's just an education thing and reminding people that it's there. But it is a very nice benefit.
Do we have to be the to make a call?
No, and when you call either EAP or Travel Assist, essentially what they're going to do is they're going to ask who you work for. And you're going to say Citizens National Bank. So if your So, and again, it's all confidential. It's not going to come back to work and say, Mary Jane used this benefit because she's got this health issue, and it's not tied to anything. We don't get a report. They don't get a report. Completely confidential. Just kind of some, I think we've gone over most of these. Oh, there's no pre-act. So let's say you have a condition that say you have cancer, you get somewhere and you're in bad shape, you need to go back home. They're not going to say, no, you have this when you travel, or not covering you. They're going to take care of you. All sports-related injuries are applicable, and the big hit for the travel assist. They do a lot of that. And again, as long as Assist America arranges it, they're going to pay for it, but they will not reimburse you if you make arrangements on your own and then try to call and get reimbursed.
150 miles or more from home.
150 miles or more from home. Yep. And it's for me, it's a sense of security. I have a daughter who plays sports, and we travel all the time. And a lot of times I send her, she's a goalkeeper and she's 15 and she's probably more aggressive than any 15-year-old girl should be. But I worry about something happening to her when I'm gone. But it's not going to keep your kid from getting hurt, but it is a little bit of peace of mind. You have a way to get to them without it being an extreme expense to you.
And it's your children, and that's it.
Yeah, your spouse or anybody you could cover on your insurance, but it's not tied to your insurance. But the EAP covers your parents and your in-laws, but not the travel. I don't think it's grandparents. I think it's just parents. I thought it said somewhere on here. It might say, let's see. Like I said, we just moved to this one. Now that you say that, did you see that on the slide? Maybe it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
No. You have to call the like if you go on a trip.
We're back.
Go back. I think I saw something.
North Carolina and that
Dependent children.
Who's covered?
And parents-in-law.
Not grandparents. And there is, I have had somebody use it or tell me about using it for elder care and vetting that out. And she said they were extremely helpful in the elder care. So I do like to hear, I know a lot of it's